strategy. Oh, they have hats? They have hats now? Nice.
That's sweet.
They have hats. I like hats.
Yeah, I didn't get a hat.
I didn't get a hat either. I have to talk to Jim about that. Inspiring Vantage, Lava Spike. Let it be known what's going on right away. I can respect that. We're underway here in round number 2. Burn, Fishies, let's do it. It's an island. It's an Ether Vial. And away we go.
And with Frank mulliganing, I kind of like the Merfolk here.
Yeah, I kind of like Merfolk.
You know, they just need to assemble like 3 lords and just start attacking for crazy amounts of damage.
They don't take any damage from their lands.
They don't take any damage from their lands.
It's a really big deal in the matchup. And right now, because a Vial has shown up, a card like Eidolon of the Great Revel is going to be a lot worse too.
Yes.
A Boros Charm's going to go upstairs right away. Frank casting that now so he doesn't have to worry about Curse Catcher.
Yep.
Maybe playing a role in things. Speaking of which, there is a Curse Catcher. Leads me to believe that he probably has another Curse Catcher to put through the Vial, perhaps.
Yeah, that's the bell that goes off there, right?
So we head back over to Frank.
And the tough thing for Frank here is that cards that he draws, creature cards that he draws in the mid game are not going to be good.
Searing Blaze, extra stinky right now. It's going to just get countered. Now here's another Curse Catcher. Yeah, there it is.
Look at you with the read.
Still got it. Really just on top of it.
Just veteran moves.
Yeah. Might be because I can see his hand. Not sure. There's a Marrow Reachery. Gonna Vial in probably a 2-mana Lord. Yeah, look at that. I'm on top of it. Attack for 3 because there's 2 Lords in the battlefield. I'm good at math too. Down to 17 goes Frank.
Just all of the job skills.
Yeah.
What's your resume look like?
You want to hire me? I'm good at math and seeing cards in people's hands.
I can identify multiple Curse Catchers and add +2 to a 1/1 creature.
That's right. It's a small skill set. Not everyone can do that.
But this is exactly what I was talking about, where, you know, Frank Mulligan, he doesn't have a whole mess of cards to work with, and now these Merfolk, I mean, one more Lord and these Merfolk are just so massive, and there's no way Frank's going to deal 13 points of damage over the next 2 turns.
It's also bad news too, because if the burn spells start going towards the Merfolk, they're not going towards Daniel.
Yep.
And then that's that might just be that. Now I think we might have a Searing Blaze here again for Frank. He's going to need to draw a lot of these to be able to win. That will be very important. Here is a Lightning Helix. Where's that going to go?
Yeah, it's so tough.
Marrow Reachery down. Frank's going to gain a little bit of life. He's going to go up to 20. But Daniel's going to stay at 13.
Yeah, and that was really a lose-lose proposition for Frank there. You know, he can go after his opponent's life total, but then the opposing creatures are so large that he's in a ton of trouble.
Going to fire up some Mutavolts here. It's, truth be told, it's pretty easy mode here for Daniel Duffee, which is activate Mutavolts, attack for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Frank can't kill them all. He can't kill them all, unfortunately. I think he might know that. I don't know if he's going to play another turn or not. He'll draw a card, however. This kind of shows the diversity of Modern, too, because this is one of Burns' poorer matchups. Here's Boros. Nope.
Wrong one. Wrong one.
Lightning Helix this. Yeah, Boros Charm, not you. Down goes Master of the Pearl Trident. So we head back over to Daniel. It's 13-all. Tie game.
Yeah, this is close. It could go either way.
Tie game right now. We don't have. It's unfortunate that we don't have an advantage bar to show who's winning.
Don't get me started on the advantage bar.
But I think it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear who's winning the game.
At the Pro Tour?
I think it's pretty clear.
Sam Black mulligan to like 4.
Where was the advantage bar?
And they're like, we're going to slide the advantage bar the other way.
Yeah. Gonna slide it over to the opponent. Okay. All right.
Yeah, on the mold of 4. Yeah.
Oh, Sir Goblin Guide. And now a Rifty Bolt.
I wasn't sure who was going to win after the mold of 4 miss a bunch of land drops.
It's important. clarity, dismember, kill that, and kill you in a moment, Frank Skarren. Jim Davis has let us know that 2 hats on the way, apparently, from Team MGG. Can appreciate that.
That's a sweet deal.
It's nice of them. Fire up these Mutavaults, kill you. Daniel Duffee, not the Royals pitcher, currently up a game over Frank Skarren. Merfolk, very easily up a game over Burn. Frank on a mulligan there. More importantly, this is a pretty good matchup here for Mr. Duffee. So we're going to go to the sideboards here. We'll take a look. Now, I do think Frank's got some goodies to bring in. 4 Relic of Progenitus, 3 Smash Smithereens, 3 Ensnaring Bridge. I think those will be key. Well, 2-Path Exile, Shattering Spree, another copy of a Searing Effect and Searing Blood, and a Graph Digger's Cage.
Yeah, I expect to see the Searing Bloods and the Ensnaring Bridges here. It's a little interesting. You had talked about Deflecting Pollen. We don't see it in Frank's sideboard here. Not good in this matchup, but that's just note, you know, we're talking about Death Shadow, and we don't even see the Deflecting Pollen in his sideboard.
Yeah, maybe Frank feels like he doesn't need it for Death Shadow. In this matchup, it can be okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants it in this matchup, but I was just surprised it's absent altogether.
Yeah, a little bit surprised by that. But you do see Frank's sideboard there. Again, I think we expect to see Ensnaring Bridges come in, maybe Smash the Smithereens because it kills Vile, and sometimes these Merfolk players have Umezawa's Jite. So you might see that come in. It's not great.
Sure.
That's for sure. And it can definitely get stranded. And then Path Exile, I think, probably comes in.
It's tough. The question is, does Frank say, all right, I'm on the play this game. I can try to just race him, and if I draw Ensnaring Bridge, I have that going on.
Okay.
You know, in that case, he doesn't want to bring in these Path Exiles. On the draw, I would expect them almost definitely come in. You know, he's just going to be behind that extra turn. Definitely just needs to keep the Lords off of the table. And he's got the extra card, too.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. For Daniel Duffee, 3 Relic Progenitus, 3 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Urgle's Recall, 2 Dispel, 2 Negate, 2 Unified Will, and an Echoing Truth. Craig, what he's got here is a lot of counter magic to bring in if he wants to.
Yeah, a lot of this counter magic could be good. He has some of these cards in his main deck that he might want to take out. The Spreading Seas are very so-so in this matchup. He's got some Smuggler's Copters in this deck, which maybe he wants them, maybe he doesn't. Same with the Dismembers. They deal him 4 damage every time he casts one. So it's possible he wants to get those out of his deck. So he can bring in some of these counter spells. The key for him really is not to forget that Ensnaring Bridge is a card. He wants to make sure he doesn't just get punked out by that thing.
Well, we'll see how both players use sideboard here in just a moment. Game number 2 going to be underway. Frank Skarren will kick things off in just a sec. But while they do finish sideboard and shuffling up, we're going to show you the Jolly Rover. It's the newest playmat for the StarCityGames.com pre-release playmats program. You can bring it to your store, and we'll show you how you can do that right now.
Say hello to the newest member of the StarCityGames.com pre-release exclusive creature collection, the Jolly Rover. Illustrated by fan favorite Andrea Radek, this motley crew is ready to set sail. Want this limited edition playmat at your pre-release? Have your local store contact StarCityGames.com by August 7th to get signed up. Visit go.starcitygames.com/pre-release to learn how to make your pre-release brave the unknown with the Jolly Rover.
August 7th is a Monday, so get cracking.
Wait, is that an homage there to some of our previous creature collection animals?
It's actually not really.
No?
Not really. I can't say that with absolute certainty, but I'm pretty sure.
I thought you were in charge of the creative team.
No.
You know, you came up with all the designs.
No.
You sketch out the rough drawings. You're like, I want it to look about like this.
Another no.
I'm hearing a lot of yeses
That's
here.
a lot of no's in a row. I got you in the no lock right now. You're what?
I'm not really picking up on what you're trying to say here. Can you be less ambiguous?
I'll see what I can do during our next break.
Okay.
See if I can bring a little clarity. It looks like Frank is going to keep his hand while Daniel's taking a mulligan. So I want to learn more about Frank, who's got a great beard, by the way. Great facial hair.
Yeah, that is.
He's always got great facial hair.
That's an intimidating beard.
Yeah. He's a really good Magic player, too. 2-time Grand Prix champ. A lot of people don't know that. He's a 26-year-old from Merrick, New York. He's got 3 open top 8s and an invitational top 8 here on the SCG Tour circuit. Member of Team Metagame Gurus along with Jim, both the Jessup brothers as well. And Benjamin 40-card Freeman. Lost 160 pounds over the past year and a half, and he's still going. Favorite foods are Indian and sushi, and he's a masterclass werewolf player, which is definitely not true. Definitely
You're
not.
just calling him out. How do you feel about people having multiple favorite foods?
That's fine.
Don't you just pick one? You're like, this is my favorite food. I also like these other foods.
Why can't two things be tied for first?
That's not how things work. Then it's not first.
Well, technically that's true.
How often at the Olympics do you see like
What if
multiple people on the podium getting a gold medal? Like, hey, you're all awesome.
What if two people cross the finish line at the same time in the Olympics? What would they do?
That doesn't happen.
But what if it did happen?
How?
I don't know. I don't make the rules.
That's the reason they've got the super mega camera where they take the picture.
But what if it happened? Then they would both be tied for first and they'd both get gold.
What if they were like, yeah, now you both get silver?
That would suck. I don't think anyone would like that. A lava spike and an Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Yeah,
is how Frank's starting this game.
We're being silly, but this is the start that Frank wanted.
This is a much better start than the last game. And Daniel is off to a much slower start this game.
Yeah, Daniel Mulligan, he opened the game with nothing, and so he's just staring down the business end of this Eidolon, which is a big deal here.
Well, he's coming in for 2 as the Eidolon.
And with no 1 or 2 turn plays, it's probably pretty safe to guess that Daniel's got a whole bunch of counter magic in his hand.
How about Lava Spike? Frank's got to take 2, but will he get to deal 3? It looks like the answer is yes.
Well, he either gets to deal 3 or he gets to deal 2 off of an Eidolon.
Yeah? What do we have here? Riftbolt on suspend. You don't get to negate that one. At least not yet. Duffee will draw. Picked up a Vial. Ugh.
Not so hot here.
This is looking ugly. What is this? All right. Harbinger of the Tides is going to bounce.
Frank gets a turn off from his own Eidolon.
Yeah, this is kind of the hard way to do it. And now there's a Vial. All right, okay. I remember when this one got printed. Really, a lot of people thought this was going to put Merfolk kind of over the edge. It's still a pretty good card.
It's a very good card.
It's just kind of more of the same.
Yeah, Merfolk wasn't really hurting for a good 2-drop.
Yeah. Duffee down to 7 now from the Riftbolt. Frank at a pretty healthy 18. Vial and Harbinger on the battlefield along with 2 islands and a Mutavault for Daniel Duffee. For Frank, a Mountain and an Inspiring Vantage, and we know he's got an Eidolon of the Great Revel in hand. Sacred Foundry. Perhaps a Searing effect? Yeah. Searing Blaze is going to deal Duffee 3 more as Harbinger is going to bite the dust. Vial's going to go up to 1. Well, here's the good thing for Daniel. Battlefield's clear. He's got mana up, and now this is where the counter magic can play a role.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You know, some of the counter magic, not great here.
Not all of it's great.
Unified Will could be very awkward.
True.
You know, he activates the Mutavault, tries to cast Unified Will.
Mutavault gets killed.
Yeah, he's exposing himself.
Goblin Guide. Eidolon of the Great Revel. See if the second one resolves, because the first one already has. In, trigger. Top card, Spreading Seas. Mutavault's going to go active. Block. Those will trade. And now Frank will just simply pass the turn back. Activate here. It's a Curse Catcher. Spreading Seas will be the draw here as Vial's going to tick up to 2. Duffee will very quickly pass the turn back. Frank is going to untap those 3 lands here in just a moment. He'll draw a card. Looks like he'll have 3 to work with after he draws. One of them is a Lightning Helix.
Yeah, he's so close. And things really lined up well for him on the last turn. Ideally, Daniel wanted to counter something with the Curse Catcher. It hurt him to lose one of his mana sources. You know, that turns into a Merfolk and attacks for a bunch later in the game. You know, Frank was able to resolve 2 spells through a whole bunch of open mana. Last turn was good for Frank.
Here comes Eidolon. Very quick block, as Duffee cannot afford to go down to 2, because then he can't play anything. So he'll stay at 4. Silvergill Adept the draw. Just going to pass the turn back.
And Daniel didn't even have anything to Vial into play last turn.
Mm-hmm. The Lightning Helix is going to deal Frank 2. And Frank is hoping to deal Daniel 3. And that will do just fine. Because even if Daniel does cast negate, he'll take 2 from that.
Yep.
He'll fall down to 2. And then we'll have a lethal Eidolon on the battlefield in a multitude of ways. So Frank Skarren's going to win game number 2 here over Daniel Duffee, Burn, Merfolk. They're all tied up. But you can really tell in this particular matchup, and I know this is something that's pretty pronounced in Modern, but the die roll certainly does play a difference here.
The die roll is big. Also, just the way the cards line up sometimes is just huge. You know, getting to Searing Blaze, getting to Searing Blood, a 2-drop when you're already ahead on the board, just massive.
Really big deal.
Yeah.
Really big deal. Those Searing effects here from Frank. I want to take a look at his deck list here, see how many he has of each. We got Frank. I know he's got a Searing Blood on the board, and he's got 4 Searing Blaze in the main. So 5 of them. Searing effects, some of the best cards you can have against Merfolk.
Oh, yeah.
Going to kill the creature and deal him damage. That's ideal. And of course, if he can find his Grim Lavamancer, which he has 1 of as well, that'll be a really good one too. So we'll see if Frank can find more of those effects after sideboard. But more importantly for Daniel Duffee, if you're rooting for Merfolk, like I'm sure Hunter Nance is, you just got to get to the battlefield pretty quick.
Yeah.
A Vial, maybe a Spreading Seas early, which can be pretty good. But just get towards the battlefield so you can actually start, progressing the game without having to take a defensive approach. I think you want those counter spells to not be trying to be countering searing effects to keep your creatures alive, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was hard to see what was in Daniel's hand at the end of that game, but he scooped his cards up with like 3 cards still in his hand that he didn't even get to use. So that's why it's important to play from ahead. You get to utilize all your resources so much better. Yeah,
pretty big deal there. Well, again, these players are going to sideboard up here pretty quickly, shuffle up for game number 3. In the meantime, we're going to talk about another promotion we got going on here with Star City Games. It is Grand Prix Washington, D.C. Now, you'll see here, that's Hour of Devastation. And if you'd like that awesome playmat at Grand Prix Washington, D.C., you can get it. But in order to get it, you got to register for the main event by Sunday, August 6th. And for you astute viewers out there, that's tomorrow.
I do like that awesome playmat.
That playmat is awesome. And so if you register for the main event by tomorrow, that's Sunday, August 6th, you will get the Hour of Devastation playmat. StarCityGames.com/GPDC for more information. That's the place you can go to register as well. And we hope to see each and every single one of you at Grand Prix Washington, D.C. Labor Day weekend. I'll be there.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
I'll be there playing and losing probably. You know what? I'm looking to rack up another 10-5. That's what I'm looking to do.
You can do it.
Darn right I can.
You've proven in the past.
Many times this year I've proven that I can 10-5. From the most dire of situations at 10-2.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, I did that in Jersey.
At 9-1. Yes, I can.
The day 2 3-0-0-3.
Beautiful. Lot of fun.
Yep.
Lot of fun.
Do they put the 1 pro point that you get in a little envelope and mail it to you?
No, that'd be nice. That'd be nice if that happened. I'd really appreciate that. Did you know if I rack up 2 more 10-5s, I have 100 pro points.
Dude, that's a lot of pro points.
I know, 100 lifetime pro points. I need that's 2 more Grand Prix for me. That's 2 more Grand Prix. There's no way I can get those 2 pro points in 1 Grand Prix. 2 more Grand Prix, I'll have 100 lifetime pro points. Yeah,
Dude.
buddy.
Yeah, I look at some of the pro players just getting platinum year after year after year.
I don't know how that's happening.
It boggles my mind.
I have no idea how anyone can win that much ever.
Yeah, there's like, getting 200 pro points a season.
Yeah.
Ain't no thing.
Must be nice. Must be really nice. I'm looking to get .99 at Grand Prix Denver 2 weeks from now. No more than 1. I just want 1.
Yeah.
I just want 1. That's it.
Then you got a great sweat for that last one.
And then at Grand Prix Washington, D.C., I'll achieve .100, and then I'll have only 50 more to go to be Hall of Fame eligible.
Yeah.
That's 50 more Grand Prix.
But baby steps. We've got a goal. It's the century mark. That's what we're aiming for right now.
I figure I play 52 more Grand Prix. If I can do it over the course of 2 years.
Maybe something crazy happens and you qualify for another Pro Tour. Can you imagine?
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
No, this isn't Fantasyland?
Yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. 52 more Grand Prix. That's 52 more pro points. And then I will be almost certainly the player with the most 10-5s to be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure. I mean, how could people not vote for you?
It's important to have goals.
Yes.
It's important to have goals. So that's what my goal is. 10-5 Mania, 1 Pro Tour top 8, couple Grand Prix top 8s, shoo into the HOF.
Get the ring. Yep.
And then I'll let you do the speech.
Oh, I appreciate that. Good looking out, man.
No problem, man. No problem. Looks like both players are happy. We're underway. It's an island. It's an Ether Vial. It's a great start here for Daniel Duffee. Really important card in this matchup. Certainly on the play, as it does alleviate some of the pressure that Eidolon the Great Revel does provide.
Well, and it also just allows the Merfolk deck to get onto the board so quick.
Yeah. Arid Mesa here from Frank.
He didn't find anything.
That's the big miss. 19, your turn. There's a mountain. It's snow covered, by the way. I think that's a Team Metagame Guru's thing.
Oh yeah, Jim Davis loves himself a snow-covered land.
Yeah.
There are times when it's relevant.
Are there?
Yes.
When?
Casting Gifts Ungiven?
Okay. Is the Gift Ungiven in their deck?
No, it is not.
Okay. When is it relevant for the burn deck? Monastery Swissburn for one. BTW.
Scred.
If they're playing it. You want to bluff Scred?
Yeah.
Oh, you're bluffing that you're the Scred red deck that won the Grand Prix.
Absolutely.
Got it. Well, now that Snow-Covered Mountain is full of water.
All the snow melted.
Yeah, it did. It did. Spreading Seas there from Daniel. Let's turn that mountain into an island. But I think Frank has another red source there, an Inspiring Vantage.
I'm always so torn about the Spreading Seas, especially in these hyper-aggressive matchups.
It's super high variance.
It seems very good sometimes, but there's other times where it's just like, all right, you took a turn off to do this thing, just didn't necessarily stop your opponent. You know, Frank's going to keep attacking here.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like I said, I think it's just pretty high variance card. I mean, it also makes it so that the burn player can't chump block any, assuming you have your lords.
Yes.
So that kind of matters sometimes.
That's relevant.
Yeah. It's definitely prevented Frank from maybe having a great start here. He's still got a good one. His Whisper's going to come across for 2. And I think Frank's just going to pass the turn. Violent a Curse Catcher? Yes.
They always have it.
Yes. They're so lucky. Silvergill Adept the draw. Mutavault the land. Big follow-up. Silvergill, reveal Curse Catcher, draw a card. Play Curse Catcher. In and pass.
No Lord.
No Lord, but maybe a Harbinger of the Tides. We'll see. We're going to head Frank Skarren's way. He's in some trouble this game. Though those fishies aren't that big just yet.
Well, it looks like Frank has multiple ensnaring bridges in his hand.
Well, maybe he's okay. A defensive stance.
So this could turn interesting.
For now, Frank is just going to pass the turn back, maybe play a little defense.
Well, no land, no play is pretty rough for him.
Uh-huh. Marrow Reedry was the draw, and there is a Harbinger of the Tides in Daniel Duffee's hand. So if maybe Frank didn't attack because he felt there was a Harbinger. Couple of Mutavaults out there for Duffee.
Well, it's also possible Frank is thinking, all right, I need to live long enough to get an ensnaring bridge or 2 on the board, and then try to burn my opponent out from there. So I'm going to stop attacking. Hopefully, you know, I can block, play a spell this turn. My guy will live through combat, and then maybe I'll get another trade out of him later in the game as well.
Well, we got no attack, no play from Duffee, which mirrors Frank's turn. And Frank is having these issues with his mana because of the Spreading Seas. As an example, he has a copy of Lightning Helix in hand that he can't cast. And now he's short on mana from at least one ensnaring bridge or multiples, as you did mention. So we've got a really weird game that's kind of brewing right now.
Yeah, this is interesting. And that Spreading Seas, because Frank doesn't have another mana source, it is turning off a lot of spells here.
Now, he may have drawn a Scalding Tarn, and he did.
Okay.
So there's land 3. Frank's going to take at least 1 as he falls down to 14, I believe. And he's going to get another snow-covered mountain.
Ice Age.
Correct.
I bought a lot of Ice Age back in the day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And it's a good thing, too, because now a lot of those cards are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good for yourself.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, here's an Ensnaring Bridge. All right, that's in there. Activate the vial. Harbinger of the Tide's on the way in. Time to untap. Vial up to 3. Now you got to play this little weird game here if you're Dana Duffee. You don't want to make those creatures too big because you want them to still be able to attack. But you want to make them big enough that they can actually still clock the opponent.
Correct, yeah. I mean, he's got to get to work here. Now that that Ensnaring Bridge is on the board, it's time to start attacking, because if Frank just ends up with no cards in his hand, what's Daniel going to do?
Mm-hmm. Curse Catcher, fire up some vials. Now here come the Knuckleheads.
Release the Hounds.
Let's see. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, I think Duffee could have killed him this turn. Yeah, because he has a Marrow Readery in his hand.
Sure, yeah.
So if he vialed into Readery, played Curse Catcher, tap the Swift Spear, fire up the Mutavaults, he'd be attacking for 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16.
Yeah, it's the exact same situation we're looking at, but with a tapped Swift Spear.
Yeah, the tapped Swift Spear. So now, if you're Frank, if you've got the read on him having a Lord, then you just, if you have the read on him having a Lord, you would block just a 2-power creature.
Yeah, you have to jump in front of the Silvergill Adept.
Yeah, so
here.
Silvergill Adept is the most, it's the block you want to make, I think, the highest percentage of the time. Now he just dies, right?
Yes.
3, 6, 9, 12, yeah, it's 14 exactly. So maybe sandbagging the, sandbagging the Readery is like correct-ish because it kind of trapped him. But if he just played the Readery pre-combat and played the Curse Catcher, he'd kill him.
Yes.
So he's just dead either way. So Dana Duffee's going to win this match here over Frank Skarren. 2 games to 1. Merfolk going to take care of Burn. And